While the rest of America trudged to work on Monday, January 30th, anti-drug partners from all across the country converged at the National Harbour in Maryland to attend the 33rd Annual CADCA Conference. The Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America meeting was held at the Delaware Convention Center, where speakers, teachers, and instructors all met to accomplish a common goal: to eradicate drug misuse and abuse in the United States. The production crew attended as well to film and document how youth are taking action to make lives healthier by living drug-free. The day started bright and early, 6 o'clock Monday morning. We loaded up our cameras, packed up our microphones, and grabbed everything we needed to document today's activities. The cause production crew was as ready as ever.
You shouldn't have told nobody that, Jordan.
You had to wake up before 6 a.m. on a Monday morning to get to CADCA. How well did you manage doing that?
I managed it pretty well. I actually woke up before that. Usually sometimes I wake up randomly and don't go back to sleep. So I woke up before 6, and because I was excited, I got ready very early. So I was okay with it, actually. I didn't mind at all.
How was the bus ride to CADCA?
It was a pretty long ride, but I just listened to music, talked with my friends, and it was a long but fun ride.
At around 6:30, we set off on our journey as we left Wilmington, passed through Delaware, entered Maryland, and drew closer to the National Harbour.
I woke up at 5:30 so I can at least get ready to even be at the center at 5. But once I got on the bus and said hi to my friends and really settled in, I felt awake and ready to go for this very big trip.
Before we knew it, we arrived at our destination, the Delaware National Resort and Convention Center, a breathtaking 500,000 square foot convention center boasting 2,000 hotel rooms, numerous meeting halls, and a 19-story glass atrium. Opened in 2008 and costing almost $900 million to build, the Delaware Convention Center seemed like a fitting place to collaborate on drug prevention on the banks of the Potomac. This was your first visit to the Delaware Convention Center, so what did you feel when you first stepped through those doors? Were you impressed? Were you blown away? What were your thoughts?
Basically, as you said, blown away and impressed. I literally kept thinking wow, am I literally in a mansion right now? It feels like a whole big mansion. There was literally apartments inside the place. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is this where rich people live So it was kind of like a funny moment, but really amazing to have that experience.
The production crew marveled at all the attractions as we got our badges and gathered all necessary information. With 94 event halls available, it took a few minutes for us to find where we were going. But after locating which conference we would attend, we learned how community leaders are working to end drug misuse nationwide. The speakers educated the attendees on strategies to instruct others to make the best choices regarding their health.
This is not a trick question. How many of you, by a show of hands, have heard of the National Institute on Drug Abuse? Real quick. Okay, so probably 70%. Excellent.
Good morning, everyone.
After the conference, we started setting up an event the production crew had been looking forward to, a luncheon of dozens of Delaware teens discussing what they think of various drug-related topics. We set up our green screens, microphones, and cameras for the event. Most of us helped ourselves to a delectable wrap or two as well. After that, the teens started pouring in. Youth organizations from across Delaware met and learned how others are raising awareness of the dangers of drug use. In a safe and friendly environment, teens across the state were proving that young people are taking action against substance abuse nationwide. Additionally, 2 video stations were set up in the room where individuals could give their thoughts on living healthier lives. Some chose to answer the question, what is a healthy relationship, while others opted to share their reason why they don't vape or smoke. These voices have been shared across the internet and give insight to thousands on how to live healthier lives. Scott Michaels of the cause spoke to the group about his experience with drug prevention as well.
Just like any other skill, it's like basketball or playing guitar or learning how to write. It gets better the more you practice it. The luncheon message was very important because we had many different people from Delaware who are young, who are all willing to use their own body, mind, and voice to help make the world a better place. And the way that we're asking them to do that is by using their influence, the influence they have amongst their peers, amongst their family. And so the real message that we had that day was for them to, first of all, recognize that they do have influence, but also, just like anything, it only really works if you use it. So we gave an example saying, if there was $1 million in front of you, but you didn't spend it, it would just be a pile of paper. If there was a Lamborghini in front of you, but you never drove it, it would just be a rock. And the same goes for their power of influence, that if they never actually use their influence, it might as well not exist. So the message was, you have influence over your peers, you could be a positive influence that, and how can you actually start to use that power of influence?
Most people would think that adults are the most responsible and capable people for this kind of message and outreach, but you chose to focus on teens. And we were wondering, why is that the case? What stood out about these teens that you met that really made you choose them for this kind of work?
Well, there's a couple answers to this question, the question of why teens. First of all, to be honest, a lot of adults are what we call calcified. They have already come onto their own version of their set of beliefs of what they think the world is. And it's sometimes, as they say, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Sometimes it is hard to do social change movement with people who feel like they've already seen it all. A young person, a teenager, actually has all of this potential still open in front of them. So they're not, as some people might say, jaded. They actually believe in the power of this influence. And the truth is, it's only those who believe in their power of influence are the ones that are going to be influential. So we need to start at the people who actually have that power of belief, that freshness of spirit. The other reason why is because right now, a lot of the work that we're doing are issues that actually teenagers might know more about than adults, including new trends with substance abuse, including fentanyl and things like this. But the third and most important reason that we are focusing on teens is because this is a program all about peer-to-peer messaging. And we just have found out that people are much more able to hear messages when they come from their peers, their friends, their family members, than they are just some stranger coming in. So when we give the power of messaging to the teenagers to do their peer-to-peer messaging, they can help us get important messages out to the community that we as adults just simply couldn't do.
Our visit to CADCA was defined by education, excitement, and exploration, a memory sure to last in the minds of all the members of the CAUSE production crew.